Now there's a website that will mimic the sound. It's called soundofcolleagues.com. They'll have fake office sound effects for people who are working from home but miss the sound of the office behind them. Really? Are they going to make
a dot matrix printer?
Yes, and you can choose from several. You can choose from several different ones,
from different eras.
Different eras, if you want. Yeah.
Electric typewriter.
Bygone eras. It is a dot matrix printer. Remember the old days when you had those?
Oh yeah,
like an endless supply of paper on the floor. And
Is it fax machine?
Yes.
Old school connect to internet?
All of those things.
Sexual harassment of the females?
All of those things.
Smack on the ass.
Yeah, you get all of that. A boss inappropriately doing
Have
something.
your girl cancel your afternoons. I need a bourbon.
You can choose whatever era you want. 50, 60.
To the madman.
Whatever you want. Whatever you want. So this company is trying, this website's trying to make money on people who are now working from home but still want the sounds of the office around.
It's not for a fake Zoom to make people think you are where you are.
I don't think so, because they know you're at home when you're Zooming.
Are they being made to stay at home?
I don't think they're being.
Companies being.
I don't know.
I've
anymore.
got various friends that have, we have always come in here, so we don't know.
Yes.
Some have gone back to the office. Some have like what I would call like a hybrid schedule. They come in Monday, Wednesday, Friday. They work from home Tuesday, Thursday. The ones that have now gone back to the office, because they were like, I hate working from home. And now they're back in the office, and they're like, put me back in my house.
They don't like either.
Yeah.
You get home and you're...
Yeah.
Well,
they felt bored at home, but being back in the office now, they don't like either, yeah.
I had drinks with my neighbor last night.
Drinks?
Yeah. Isn't that grown up?
Oh, yeah.
Put on clothes after 6 p.m.?
I did.
Did you go to their house, or they come to yours?
Went to their house. They invited a couple of neighbors. We're fairly new to the neighborhood. I mean, we've been there over a year now. But he said, I haven't invited you guys over. Why don't you come over for drinks and some cheese? And,
No.
Right.
No, not in your environment.
Not. Oh, are you kidding? How fish out of water was I?
Did you just say Humboldt fog?
That's your cheese of choice.
That's mine.
That's your cheese.
You borrowed it.
They had a baked brie. I was like, oh my god,
that's
wow.
good.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, it was really good. And they had.
What'd you drink?
Well, see, they had a lot of like IPAs and stuff like that. I was like, whatever you'd like, and I was like, okay, and I choked it down. It's so. I only like
So beery.
I don't like beer. I like, and then they had a lot of great wine. My wife really enjoyed that. It was very nice. The point,
And just a chat.
Just a chat.
I kept waiting for the sales pitch.
No, just to get to know each other better.
Yeah.
But we
See
were
that paper towel you're using right there? What have I told you?
You,
As a company.
You can buy that at
All
all.
these products you're sitting on right now using?
You buy that in bulk.
I know
if
they're
you want
from
to.
Amway.
You ever heard of Amway?
Oh, no.
It wasn't that.
Oh.
Just couldn't have been nicer. But he said,
Very kind.
He's a lawyer, and he's like, COVID for me was like a break. I was here in the house for a year and a half. Now I'm back at work 2 days a week. And that's what he said, a hybrid schedule. And he says, that's how I'm going to do it for now. And he Zooms all the time.
A part of the work from home thing, you can't really compare it because for the most part, when people were working from home, their kids were there too.
That's right.
The kids are back in school.
That's right.
So that
Now
type of home environment has changed.
Yeah, now it's a little different, isn't it? You don't have the kids to worry about it. You know how else he said, by the way? We were talking about the January 6th hearings.
Oh,
Adult conversation.
Yeah, you got to tiptoe into that territory.
Oh, boy.
And he says,
I think we all know where you all fall.
No. He said to me, what's your take on January 6th? And
is this a camembert?
That's a hoppy IPA.
I told you my take. I didn't watch the events of January 6th because
On January 6th.
On January 6th,
Yeah.
I was watching Friends. Just to recap briefly, Biggie said, "The whole world is about to end." He texted, and I looked at it. I was like, "What's he talking about?" And Chris Demm texted a picture of Donald Trump pouring gasoline on an enormous fire, fire going everywhere.
Burn it all down.
Yeah, burn it to the ground. And Biggie said, "We have to leave the country." I said, "What's he talking about?" So I flipped it over to CBS. I saw it for 15 seconds. I said, "I'm not watching. I'm going to be a part of this."
No one told you the Capitol's on fire today.
Pelosi's DOA.
Don't joke about that.
So I avoided it. I've avoided all the trials and everything. I just hate, this kind of thing where there's so much conflict and all that. And I said, I'll tell you the truth, Bob. I just haven't paid that much attention to it. He said, where do you get your news?
Oh,
And I said, from Biggie.
there's this little thing called The World in 60.
He said, I'm unfamiliar. What is a Biggie? And I said, he's this guy I know who puts together.
He makes our news piece at work.
Where do you work?
Does he aggregate news for you?
It's a really awkward moment because the others had like real things to say.
Yeah.
I just nod along like,
You know what you could have said is, what do you think?
that's how,
Yeah.
just
Turn
answer
the table.
Just answer with a question. What's your
But he's
take?
an attorney, so he's going to.
Yeah, he knows. He knows the
He knows
game.
wordplay.
He knows all of it. He really so smart, and he starts talking about stuff that I just have to go, you know, that kind of thing. It's like nodding along.
Is
Totally on
he
my own.
roughly your age, my age, Biggie's age?
He's your age, a little older than me, I would say. A little bit, you know, very
Adult kids
seasoned.
or no kids?
Adult kids and seasoned, traveled, worldly.
Oh, that's not going to work well.
3 things I'm not.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know that I'll be invited back.
How long? I was going to say, how long did you stay? Did it?
I'd say 2.5 hours.
Wow.
Wow, that's a long time.
Cheese, grapes, wine, the brie, and some other neighbors there as well.
When you brought up the word pickleball, did your wife kick you in the shin?
She did. We're just
You know, I've been playing a lot of. What? How?
I've got a game you might like.
Have you ever heard of it?
And then you're a broadcaster, aren't you? What kind of show do you do? And I said, oh, it's really serious. There's a lot of serious stuff on there. What topics do you cover? And then I was like, oh,
All of them?
all of them, everything.
Every topic.
I felt like
All the topics.
what's her name?
Or Sarah Palin.
Palin.
When she was interviewed during her vice presidential run.
Yep. What magazines did you read? All of them.
All of them.
I tell you one thing Chris Demm's uncovered, and I would never have admitted this. This is a topic we've been on lately. Biggie and I watch Stranger Things. Huge fans. Great show.
It's one of the biggest shows of the decade.
That's huge.
It has turned.
It will go down in history.
The pop culture, that song,
You're right.
Running Up That Hill. I'm hearing now that people are buying cassettes because they're going back to cassettes because Stranger Things uses cassettes with Walkman.
Metallica is on the charts.
Unbelievable.
Metallica.
The influence that show has is unreal. Biggie said, by the way, this is a great piece of trivia. Kate Bush, who does that song Running Up That Hill, which is now everywhere, back on the charts again for the first time. And it wasn't even a huge hit in the 80s.
Correct.
They just played it in that episode of that show. Biggie told me that he read an article that said Kate Bush, produced the song, owned the rights to the song, controlled everything about the song, just because that's what she did. And now that it's huge again, she makes an enormous amount of money, like $1 million a day.
At its peak, she was making $1 million a week.
My
because
word.
She wrote, produced, owned the rights
Yeah.
to every part of the song. So she had to give Stranger Things the rights to use it. So yeah, at the peak, she was making, so she's probably now, I'd say, made $10 or $12 million.
Winona Ryder's an enormous fan of her music, and that's why we had that on Put Up or Shut Up, and so they used it that way. I told Bob about this, and he's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't watch TV.
We don't watch television in this house.
Stranger Things.
What? Well, Chris Demm lately has taken to saying that Stranger Things is like a souped-up knockoff of Scooby-Doo, to which I can't believe anyone would say something like that. So,
But you couldn't argue it.
if you watched it, you'd know. But
Okay.
Chris Demm says, is there a dog? Not really. There's a little bit of a dog in this.
Is there a van?
Yes, there is a van.
They go from town to town solving mysteries.
Yes, there is a gang. There is they
Yeah.
are about that age.
And there's bad guys.
So they're bad guys. So Michael, who says, I've been a P1 for 8 years. When Chris Demm first made the comparison of Stranger Things to Scooby-Doo, I was outraged. I thought, what kind of person would even suggest something like this? However, after seeing this video, I'm afraid I have to agree with Chris Demm. Now, let me explain this. In Stranger Things, there's a world called the Upside Down. It is basically under the setting in Hawkins, Indiana. And a gate has been opened to go into the Upside Down. And it's happened a few times. Like every season, somehow.
You don't want to go there.
No, and if you do, it's just like Hawkins, only it's dark and dismal and, murder happens and it's terrible. Great. In this particular season, at one point, the gang is out on a rowboat in the middle of a lake. And they're trying to figure out where the gate is because they have to go through to the Upside Down to seal the gate. And Steve the Hare Harrington says, oh, my God, I think it might be below us. He's my favorite character, Steve the Hare Harrington.
Okay.
And he says, I think it might be below us in the bottom of the lake.
Oh,
And
at the bottom of the lake.
So he dives in and swims down and goes through the enormous crevice that is at the bottom of the lake.
He
and
found it.
He's in the Upside Down. Michael has sent us a scene from Scooby-Doo. Now, this is not from like 70s Scooby-Doo because like, Casey Kasem's not doing the voice of Shaggy. But Shaggy and the gang, Fred and Velma and Scoob, are sitting out on a canoe in the middle of a body of water. And this is the exchange.
We're totally lost at sea. No, wait. Lost on an interdimensional sea. Alone and adrift between universes. Dudes, life is completely turned upside down.
Upside down? Shaggy Rogers, you're a genius.
Like, huh?
It's not up. It's down. The gate is down. Jeepers, you think the fourth gate is down there?
Only one way to find out. Come on, gang.
And they proceed to swim.
The whole gang.
The whole gang through
Scoob included.
a gate. Yeah, Scoob included. And by the way, Scoob shows his butt when he goes over. First time I've ever seen him like rear up his butt. They look down under the water.
This is 90s Scooby-Doo or something.
90s Scooby-Doo. That's right. Not the original Scooby-Doo. But they literally, I mean, the scene.
They literally said upside down.
The upside down, the gate. And they dive into the water, and the scene is eerily similar to the scene in
Exactly.
I mean, almost exact.
Yes.
They swim through this, dark, mystical looking gate, and then once they go through the upside down, they're right side up in a different world and out of the water. And that's exactly what happens in Stranger Things. But I think it's coincidence.
It's gotta be.
No way.
Oh, no way the Duffer Brothers.
No way.